Hi, this is a brief description on how I enter and exit bus stops when driving a bus. When I approach bus stops, it's important I scan ahead for potential hazards and consider the safest, most convenient place to stop for passengers and provide enough space for other road users to pass the bus safely. To avoid rubbing the front wheel against the curb when entering the bus stop, I'll look in the lower section of the left mirror to check the front of the bus is close to the curb. I make the necessary adjustments by steering to the right as the front of the bus gets close to the curb and continue forward as the bus comes parallel to the curb and straightening the steering out at the same time. Some bus stops have lane markings indicating where the bus zone is. Some of the lane markings are too narrow for the bus to fit in completely. It's important I don't attempt to fit the bus within the markings and just focus on the left mirror to ensure the front wheels do not rub against the curb. If there's a street prior to the bus stop, I don't indicate too early on the approach. If a vehicle is exiting the street, they may mistake my intentions in thinking the bus is turning into the street and not actually crossing the street to the bus stop. I slow the bus down and indicate as the bus is crossing the street. If a bus stop has a hazard near the roadside like a tree and parked cars, I approach on an angle so the left mirror just clears the hazard without coming into contact. Not only do I look in the mirror for hazards at the side of the bus, but also look beyond the mirror for the line of travel the mirror will take to ensure the mirror does not collide with hazards near the roadside. When exiting the bus stop, all vehicles departing the curb, including buses, must indicate for a minimum of 5 seconds. I check the left mirror, especially near the rear overhang section for potential tail swing hazards. I check the right mirror for oncoming traffic and a safe gap, and I look over my right shoulder to check the blind spot. Most buses on Australian roads have a sign on the back indicating that vehicles approaching from the rear are required to give way to buses leaving the curb. This sign is only enforced when leaving a curb in a built-up area and in a road with a speed limit zone not more than 70 km per hour. I'm still required to exercise caution and wait for a safe gap by watching and estimating the speed and distance of traffic approaching from the rear of the bus. In this situation, the bus is stopped with a bend in the road behind the bus. I use the left mirror to check for approaching traffic, and I patiently wait for a suitable gap to be identified in both mirrors. If there's sufficient space in front, when a suitable gap is identified, I start rolling and accelerate into the gap and continuously monitor the surroundings until the bus has completely joined the flow of traffic and is in the lane completely.